Welcome to Measuring Success Right, the official podcast of the Marriott Student Review, a podcast for students by students, where we connect the leaders of tomorrow with the issues of today.
Alright, what's poppin', guys?
Hi everybody, my name is Devin Loveland.
My name is Lucy May.
And we are the new hosts for this podcast, Measuring Success Right.
We are the new hosts and we're so excited because this podcast is about measuring success, which is something all of us do, either consciously or subconsciously.
It should be quite the experience. This week we just wanted to introduce ourselves just a little bit, so you could get to know us before we jump right into all these other amazing people who will outshine and overshadow us, most definitely. They can at least speak clearly.
Talk for yourself, Devin. All right, I'm shining as well. So, a little bit about me. I am from Australia. I'm actually from England and I've lived here 5 years. But everyone thinks I'm Australian because I've lost my accent quite a bit. Where are you from?
I'm from Burley, Idaho.
Potato Land.
I'm from Potato Land. Nobody thinks that I have an accent, especially here in Utah, but I'm sure there are some idiosyncrasies in the way I speak.
Yeah, you all have. Just a disclaimer, everyone. If you are an American and you say you have no accent, that is false, because we all have accents and I can hear your accent every time you talk. So just that little bit of disclaimer there. So yeah, we're from England and Idaho, so similar places. And we are so excited because we have so many cool people, so many cool guests coming on this podcast from all different fields who are going to explain their field and how they've become successful in their field and how they define that success, which is going to be so exciting because they're just so smart and knowledgeable.
I'm excited to talk to these people because I admire so many of them, obviously. But
how would you define this success, Devin?
I think how closely you follow the goals that you're setting and if you're making progress. So success is more of a direction than milestones. I mean, they can help, obviously. You can make milestones or reach milestones, but I think ultimately a lot of people feel like they're not successful despite the fact that they're moving forward, heading in the right direction, and making progress. I think that's truly successful.
Yeah, I love that. Because it's not really like your goals push you to accomplish more, but you'll rarely, if you set a good goal, reach all your goals. Else they're just not good enough goals.
Yeah, you can't set really lame goals and just accomplish them, then you'll never, that's not success.
You don't push yourself. Yeah, success is such an interesting topic. So we're excited to delve more into that.
How would you measure success?
I feel like I measure success in a lot of ways. I feel like goals is one of them, but I definitely get in a habit of tying my confidence to how well I accomplish my goals, or if I do. So that's something I'm excited to see what these other people we're bringing on the podcast talk about. But another way I've tried to measure success lately is just looking back on the day and looking at my core values and seeing if I've accomplished that, if I've been true to myself, if I've reached out to someone in need. All the most important things to me, if I look back on the day, they don't have to be how much I've accomplished, but just have I hit on some of those core values. One thing my uncle says in one of the books he wrote is, burnout is not a badge of honor. A lot of the time we think that to be accomplished, to have success, we have to be constantly busy. It's definitely an American thing. I feel is that people are always working longer, they're always working harder, versus are we working smarter, and how do we view our success? Are we doing it in a healthy way?
Yeah, I think that I think the Protestant work ethic is it can grow to be a problem, just like any virtue can mature and become a vice if it's left untended, I suppose. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm excited to see what a lot of these people have as their opinions and their views of how to measure success. I'm sure that my own definition and my own measurement of success will change over the course of a lot of these conversations.
Yeah, definitely. And because we're having different guests with different backgrounds in different businesses and areas of work, it'll be interesting to see specifically in that area of work, how did they define success, and seeing how they've accomplished it themselves and how long it's taken them to really know what success feels like.
And
I think that's what's cool about this podcast.
Yeah.
Is like we are going to be able to talk to like a ton of different people and figure out like how they define success, which is going to be different for everybody, especially in the different fields of work that people are in. So it's going to be really exciting to actually talk to these people and get their best advice.
Absolutely. I think it will be interesting because not just from like a strictly business perspective, because a lot of people, when they think of success, they think of, I guess, monetary success. But I'm imagining, and I've heard from previous podcasts, that success isn't always measured that way, but also in other ways as far as like family success or personal experience gained. So that's one of the things that I look most forward to is finding out about these people's personal experience.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got a good amount of people lined up to talk to, so we are excited to introduce you to them. But until then, cheers for listening, and I hope you have a brilliant day. We'll see you in a bit.
This podcast is a project of the Marriott Student Review at Brigham Young University. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Marriott Student Review or online at marriottstudentreview.org.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect official policy or position of Brigham Young University or The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.